So, I'm making this video all about asexuality because I used to identify that way, and it's a real problem in the asexual community where people tell them things like, oh, you're just a late bloomer, oh, it's just this or that that's causing this. And it's really invalidating as someone who identified that way. In my case, it did turn out that I did just need a little bit more time and patience, and also I needed to change medications. Now, a lot of asexual people are accused of, oh, it's just your meds, oh, it's just this, oh, it's just that, and it gets really frustrating. But in my case, it actually was because I was put on such a strong medication. Now, a lot of people are asexual, they can be on mental health meds, but not because they're asexual. I'm just saying they can happen to be on meds at the same time, and often this will not really mean that they're not asexual. Often it can mean that they just have, other issues that they need medication for, which is fair. And yeah, so talking about all sexuality, it's a bit taboo sometimes because I don't want to talk about, teenage sex drives, but this happened in my teenage years when I identified as ace, so it's kind of unavoidable. So the reason why I identified as ace was because I didn't have a lot of confidence, and also I just didn't have any sort of urges. I just didn't care. I just wanted friendship, and I was very lonely. I wanted physical contact but not anything sexual, which a lot of asexual people want. They want hugs, they want cuddles, they want info dump on their partners for 5 hours about the thing they love, and that's just a partnership. And a lot of people, and a lot of men specifically, tend to confuse intimacy with sex and sexuality, when really you can be intimate with your friends. You can have those intimate moments where you're walking with them in the woods and it's really pretty, or you're handling your lizard. I don't know, this is very specific to me, but yeah, you're doing something with your friend that's totally non-sexual and you're having fun, and that can be intimate. Intimacy is just when you feel at peace and content, and it's a very quiet little moment, and you can have that with your partners and it's not sexual, and that's what I craved and wanted. But later, discovering that I was pansexual and coming out again was a big deal because I'd sort of suppressed anything, and then I went on a different medication, and finally, I was okay, it probably was my medication, because it's I could finally think. I was on olanzapine, which is a really heavy duty medication. I was on 20 megs, something crazy. And this was because I have bipolar disorder and I was quite ill. And I went on aripiprazole later, which is a schizophrenia ADHD med, and that really just helped me so much. And I'm pretty sure I do have ADHD, but haven't been diagnosed just yet, so I'm on the waiting list. But this stimulant medication that I take every morning has been really helpful, and it's helped me discover who I am, because when you're so tired all the time, you have a hard time realising who you are, and I missed out on those formative teenage years, and I sort of did it a bit later. So I had my angsty teen phase last year, and my dad was going mental. I was like, it's not a phase, Dad. Because it turns out I'm non-binary as well, and it was really hard to come to terms with, because I was just remembering a lot about my childhood and how I wanted to be a boy. I didn't want to grow into a man, but I didn't want to be a woman either, and I just wanted to look quite boyish and stuff. And since I chopped all my hair off and made a few changes, I feel so much better, so that makes sense. I identify as agender and demi-pan. So what that means is I'm still on the asexual spectrum, or demisexual spectrum, but I'm also pansexual. So what they call that is demi-pan, which means I have some sexual attraction, but only towards someone I'm really, really close to and trust very much. So it's took a long time. So that's partly why I thought I was asexual was the medication, but partly is I'm actually on the spectrum of asexuality, as you will. I hope that's correct. So yeah, I say I'm pansexual, but that's because it is relevant, but it also isn't, because I have a partner and I'm monogamous, so that's cool. It's part of my identity anyway, but all these labels are just ways of describing how I am and who I am and what I am and how I feel, and I'm really happy that I know who I am finally at 24. I mean, I hope I do, and I can share it with you on this channel. So yeah, that's all I know about asexuality so far, and my experiences coming out as something else after identifying that way. I hope you enjoyed this video, and like, subscribe, follow if you're queer or creative or love animals and froggers. I'm going to be doing some illustrations and sharing them with you, and some art videos, and yeah, I hope you have a really good day. Bye bye.